The homies did it.
Says the MarshawnAndMe podcast. This is episode 2. We back yet again. I go by the name of Uknowcell. You can follow me on Instagram at uknowcell.com. I'm the father.
I'm the son. You can follow me on Instagram, the kid_Marshawn2.
Definitely. Mark. You got it right this time.
I know.
All right, listen, man. First and foremost, before we start this episode 2, we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor. Our sponsor is
Digital Labor Studios.
Digital Labor Studios. You know, this is where we shoot our podcast at every time. It's always a good vibe when we come, for sure. We definitely want y'all to come through. They do mix, mastering, recording, for all type of stuff. Obviously, we gonna be the exclusive podcast for sure. But you can definitely come get some voiceovers and stuff done. You an artist, rapper, singer, poet. You want to get your stuff recorded, get it ready for iTunes, Apple Music, all that type of stuff. Definitely want to come to Digital Labor Studios.
Yes, you do.
So last episode, we talked a lot about was an introduction to us.
About how we get along.
Just our relationship overall, so you guys can just see how we gel together as father and son. We gave you a lot of history as far as me being single father, him living with me since he was 2, all that good stuff. So I think a perfect transition from podcast 1, the introduction, and them seeing how we gel together as father and son, is talk about our dynamic as father and friend. What you think?
I think we more father. You're more like we friends, but we still have our time when you can't be grumpy, and that's like the father.
Yeah, you definitely have to have. I found in our relationship it's best to have that friend and father relationship. You always, for me at least, I always wanted to make sure that Marshawn was comfortable enough to be himself at all times, be able to express himself, and most importantly, come to talk to me when things happen with him or he wants to know certain things, as opposed to feeling like he has to go to other people or finding acceptance from other people out in the streets or people at school or whoever it may be. I always just want him to be able to come and talk to me about whatever. So I definitely try to have that fine balance as a father and friend, and a lot of that plays into our relationship and how we interact towards each other and how other people view us as well. Most importantly, too, just our household. You know what I mean? When it comes to just maintaining that and understanding that I'm your friend, but I'm also your father, and we had those times where those lines kind of get crossed sometimes. We kind of blur the lines because I do give him, a lot of freedom as a child. He got a lot of choice, but sometimes, it's time out for that. But how do you feel as far as in our household? You growing up, you 10, you'll be 11. You know what I mean? Coming up very, very soon. This month you will be 11. 20th. This month, June 20th, you'll be 11. So, do you feel like that has been helping you as you grow and going out to school? Because I'm not with you all day, every day.
I know. Like, I've been with multiple people, but yeah, I still like times when I'm mad about something, and I might bring it home. And when I bring it home, Daddy has to really be the father. He can't be so much of a friend, but he got to be both, because he still got to make sure that I'm still able, to come to him and just talk to him about stuff. And then he also has to be serious. Like a little over serious, like too much.
No, I gotta be serious because the world is serious. I love you to death, and I'd rather you get the harshness from me than to go out here in the world and not know what to expect out here. Because at least with me, it's coming from a place of love and getting you prepared to walk outside. Because what we just watched,
Aladdin?
Not Aladdin. The other thing we just watched, the documentary we just watched, When They Can See Us, about the Central Park 5. When they see us, I think that's what it was called. It's about the Central Park 5. Pretty much everybody probably know about it. It's about 5 young black males who got kind of pretty much got railroaded into confessing to something that they did not do by the police, and then ultimately they spent a lot of time in most of their childhood in jail for something that they did not do. They got out, and over a course of time, they ended up getting a lawsuit settlement. But the point of it is for me to teach him at a young age that he has to be self sufficient and understand the thing that's going on in the world, um, and really just get that harshness from me as instead of getting it from the world and going outside and not knowing what to expect. And ain't that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So how did you when we was watching that? How did that make you feel any kind of way when you saw them how they were doing them young black men, young black kids? No, you really ain't know what you was watching, did you? But it's important though, because as a young man, you haven't experienced with those kids that have experienced, and I hope and pray that you never have to experience anything of that sort. But that type of stuff is out here. You know, you see that all the time. It be on the news or yeah,
I don't really watch the news.
but you hear about it. But you hear about it though. You hear about people getting shot by the police and by Granny. What Granny be telling you?
She don't be telling me that, but she have it like on all day.
The news.
It's like this. It's like something she just have in the house like all day long, and then it might pop up. I'm like, oh, it's sad. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, yeah. It's you kind of young though. That's why. You probably a little too young to kind of understand everything and the importance of it and what's going on. So that's why I always try to bring stuff like that to your attention. Sit down, watch some stuff with you. But that's the father side. And then we got the friend side. The friend side is us doing things that you like to do, and that's even more important so that you can learn yourself.
Like I really like my favorite things to do with Daddy is I like the city of Detroit. I love it to death. Like that's my favorite thing to do. And we go to like well I have my grandparents they live in Detroit. So I when I go over their house it's like they have like two different um neighborhoods. So like on my dad's side, my great grandmother, her house is in a not so great neighborhood. And then it's kind of around it you have like the mid towns and the downtowns and all of that. And she like tells me stuff about the neighborhood, and my grandma tells me stuff about the neighborhood because they each got different time periods of living in the city of Detroit. Like Daddy, he was around the city of Detroit in the 90s and 2000s all the way up to now. Well, it is the 2000s.
Right.
So, and my grandmother was around it in the 80s, 90s. Now.
Talking about Gigi?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. We ain't gonna
she been in the 60s. Yeah, 60s. Like straight 60s. Like you look at her pictures.
Okay, we got it. Black don't crack. She still look good though.
Yeah, she the 60s. And then on my mom's side, my grandma, she's should I tell them her age?
Granny Ma. They should hope to get to Granny Ma age.
My grandmother, I call her Granny Ma.
That's your great.
Yeah.
3 times.
So she's my grandma. Like my dad did all them greats. That's a lot of greats for me. And then she lives in a nice neighborhood, but she's also 91. Been living in the same neighborhood for forever.
Yeah, for sure.
But she tells me stuff about Detroit and how it used to be very different. How it was stores that are gone and haven't been back, or they changed their names over the years. And she just tells me like about the city, and we could go downtown or near Motown and just be in that area and learn about like all of the people, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, everybody. So those are some of my favorites. Yeah, Marvin Gaye, my favorite.
And I found that just on the friend side of things, I learned a lot from him. Obviously, as y'all can see, because he know about all the old school stuff for sure. He like an old soul. for a long time he was kind of like the baby of the family until recently. But he always hang around older, all the older people, so he always get a lot of information, and stuff that I don't even know. So that friend time and us just being together, that allows me to get to know him better. It allows me to grow and learn as a man and as a father, and it allows me to just experience things from his point of view, which is always good. I was just watching a video by this one guy. Uh, his Instagram is, I want to say it's Antonio Pickett Jr. is his Instagram. He was just doing a video about how he's doing a 180-day challenge, and I want to salute to him. He's a father as well, and he was talking about just being patient with your kids and seeing things from their point of view sometimes, and understanding that sometimes as adults they're on a different level than us. So it kind of put things in perspective for me too, and kind of helped me to understand that I gotta sometimes look at things from his perspective. And being a friend to your children also get you in them circles that you thought you might not never be. He might slip around and tell you something that he probably didn't even want to tell you. What? I don't know. You want to tell me something? You want to tell me something? I thought we was gonna get it exclusive right here on the podcast. No girlfriend? Nothing? All right, dang. I thought I was gonna get it exclusive. Too bad. Well, coming soon. Talking to anybody right now? You got your own cell phone.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't talk to nobody on my cell phone.
Just in school?
What do you mean, just in school?
I'm saying, so you
I
just
don't talk to nobody that's in my school.
I thought I was gonna trip you up. All right, well, it's all good, man. But yeah, I think that's like the importance, and I wanted to kind of hone in on that with this episode. As far as being father and friend, and how important that is to our relationship and the success of it, and us growing together and learning more and more about each other as we get older, and to just always, I'm gonna be here for him every step of the way. At the end of the day, every step of the way, I'm gonna be there, and that friendship really allows me to do that. So that's been the majority of this podcast. We also want to encourage y'all to definitely email us, man. If y'all got any topics that y'all want us to talk about, if you know anybody who may be, entrepreneur, or just, or even the average Joe working 9 to 5, whatever, you know what I mean, that have children and want to come on here and talk about their dynamic with their children and how the things that they do in their household, we definitely encourage that. We want to talk to other people. We want to see how other people interact with their children as well. You can email us, MarshawnAndMePod19@gmail.com. Definitely follow the podcast on Instagram, MarshawnAndMePC. It's going to pop up on the screen for you so you can know the spelling and all of that. DM us if you got anything you want to ask us, any topics. Like I said, you can follow me on Instagram at Uknowcell.com. I'm the father.
I'm the son. You can follow me on Instagram at thekid_Marshawn2.
The homies did it.